JVR showed up this morning. He had the flu, chills and sweats and fever, so we sent him home. The Clarkson is getting closer to a probable situation for tomorrow night. Ashton, no. Smith, no. And Holland, no.
But JVR is going to be fine to travel with you guys.
Well, we don't know if he's going to travel with us or he'll take his own flight down later today or early tomorrow morning.
Is David Boland going to come on the trip, Coach?
David Boland will be on the trip.
You've got Smithson coming up, Jared Smithson?
Yeah, we reassigned McKegg and brought Smithson up. So we felt that going on the road and the buildings we're going into, that we'd be better served to have a defensive-minded player on the road, defensive zone face-offs, those kind of things, penalty killer. So that's what we decided, and specifically if we have the option of Clarkson coming back into our lineup, because it gives us a different look.
I'm sorry, did you have this Father's Day trip in Anaheim when you were there?
Yeah, we've done this numerous times. It's always a special time. We bring the fathers in and they get to spend the time on the road, and they can see the babysitting I have to do.
Just a motivation.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit of a motivation. It's obviously, they want to play well in front of their fathers, and we will send that message home numerous times to make your dad and your family proud of you. And there's nothing wrong with that. And everybody does it, and it's a great time to see the camaraderie and the different fathers, their personalities and how they transfer to their sons.
Is it easy to recognize some of them by their facial resemblance? Or?
Oh yeah, there's recognizable people up there, that's for sure. They're split an image of one another, and then there's other people that you just don't know how they're their mother. They must look like their mothers.
Randy, getting back to Smithson, there's got to be a luxury to be able to bring a player up who's played over 600 games at the National Hockey League level.
Yeah, and that was part of the reason that when we were decimated with injuries at center, that we went out and sought that type of player. He's played in the league. He's been an excellent face-off guy. He's been a real strong penalty killer. And we just think that it is the fit for our group. And again, it might stress a little bit more to the defensive side in our thinking, but when you go on the road, you got to have defense first. That's for sure.
Coach, when you look at Morgan Riley from game one of the season to where we are today, what kind of a progression have you noticed in his game?
Well, obviously he feels a lot more comfortable, and he's starting to, see the true Morgan Riley, where I think as any young player, they're conservative in the early going. They don't want to make any mistakes, and their confidence level is starting to grow. And I think, again, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves with any young player. We want to make sure that we continue to measure and afford him the ice time that allows him to develop. But, again, we don't want to put him in situations that he can't possibly have success in.
Randy, Nazem Kadri, I think he's right at the top of the list in terms of guys who have drawn penalties in the NHL this year. Obviously, a lot of that has to do with his skill and being in the offensive zone, but is he valuable as an agitator just as much almost as a skilled guy in your top six?
I don't really look at Nazi as an agitator. I look at him as a competitive guy. He goes out there and competes, and I'm sure that the opposition views him a little bit differently, but I think if he's not doing that, he's not effective. And that's the most important thing for any player, is there's a line that you cannot cross. And you've got to play within the rules, and he's got a skill set that can separate him from people, and he's got skills that, again, can beat people one-on-one and create space. And we're going to continue to push him to get his feet moving through the neutral ice, because we believe that's where it makes or breaks his effectiveness.
Randy, back when the team was going through trouble, you told a story about how people are coming up to you at Swish Alley telling you to get the team going. Then Saturday night you got people cheering you at your news conference, and I'm just wondering if you have had any different feedback now that the team's going good.
Oh, I just questioned how did those guys get in there. I asked who they were. I thought they were heckling me. I didn't know that they were cheering me.
They're not reported.
No, I don't know. It's again the peaks and valleys of the season, and it always takes different directions, and we're on a little bit of a run here, so we want to just keep the ball rolling, and it's a lot lighter atmosphere when you have success. And we play the game for one reason: we play to win, and that's the bottom line.
You have a great home record, obviously. Picking it up on the road would be a...
Yeah, again, if we could get ourselves, I think we're one game under 500 on the road, and we'd definitely like to shoot for over 500. And we've got two big games, and there's a big game that starts tomorrow night in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, against the Panthers, and we saw what type of hockey club they are. You know, we've met them twice since their coaching change, and they're a different group of players under Peter Horchuk. They got a young team with lots of skill and size, and they skate. And we're going to have to be very, very careful in what we do and how we manage the puck.